In this video, we're also going to take a look at volume. We're going to take a look at the area of a circle, just as a quick review, and then we're going to look at how to find volume of a cylinder, a cone, and a sphere. So if you have your foldable, we're going to start with a circle just to review a little bit. So we're going to open up the flap and make sure that we're looking at that problem. This one says find the area of a circle shown, or of the area, find the area of the circle shown. Use 3.14 for pi, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So just a quick reminder, area of a circle is pi r squared. Remember that circumference of a circle is pi times the diameter. All right, so make sure that you know which one is which, especially when you're asked to find something with a circle. Make sure you're using the correct formula. That usually helps. So we have to find the area of the circle shown. So the area formula for a circle is pi r squared. In this case, the radius of the circle is 5. So it's pi times 5 squared, which is 25 pi. And again, that's our answer in terms of pi. But this time it says in the problem, round to the nearest tenth. Usually the problem will tell you how to leave your answer. If it says in terms of pi, we're done. But if it wants us to round our answer to the nearest tenth, we just have to type in 25 times pi on our calculator, and we end up getting 78.5398. And if we want to round that to the nearest tenth, we kind of identify the tenths place and look at the next digit, which is 3. 3 is less than 5, so we keep it at a 5. So 78.5 inches squared, because we're finding area, which is the inside of a two-dimensional figure. So 2 dimensions. Okay, next let's take a look at a cylinder. Now, you do have your Regents formula sheet, and on your Regents formula sheet, you do have some of your formulas. Cylinder is a lot like a prism, so volume of a cylinder is going to be area of the base times the height. Now, that capital B, again, I call it big belly B because we have to replace that with something. We have to replace it with the formula for area of the base. So with a cylinder, the base is a circle, so we're going to replace that with pi r squared. So the volume formula for a cylinder is pi r squared times the height. So in this case, our cylinder has a base that is a circle. I'm going to use this one down here as my base. The radius on that base is 5 inches, so I'm going to do pi times 5 squared, and then I have to multiply by the height, which is how far apart those bases are, in this case 12 inches. So really what I'm doing this time is multiplying my 25 pi times 12. When I do that, I end up getting 942.478, and again it says round to the nearest tenth. So my tenths place is a 4, the next digit is bigger than 5, so I'm going to round up to 942.5 inches cubed because we're finding the volume. All right, let's take a look at our volume formula for a cone. On our Regents formula sheet, volume of a cone is given to us as 1/3 area of the base times the height. So again, we have that big belly B, which needs to be replaced. We have to put something in its belly. In this case, again, the base is a circle, so the area of the base is pi r squared. So formula for the volume of a cone is 1/3 times pi r squared times the height. So again, our base is a circle with a radius of 5, and our height is 12 inches. Now, the one thing that I just want you to see here, notice this little right triangle right here? In this case, they gave us the height, but if all they gave us was the length of the slanted side, we could use Pythagorean theorem to go ahead and find that height. Sometimes they will do that. Sometimes they'll give you the length of the side, and you have to then use Pythagorean theorem to find the height. All right, so just be careful of that and make sure that you keep an eye out for that. So this time we're still multiplying 5 squared times pi times 12, but we're taking 1/3 of it. So we're going to take basically our answer from the last problem and divide it by 3, and we end up getting 314.159, and again it says round to the nearest tenth. So it's 314.1, and then the next digit's a 5, so that tells us to round up. And again, we're talking about volume, so that would be inches cubed. All right, the last one we're going to look at is the sphere. For a sphere, this one's given to you on your formula sheet again. Volume for a sphere is 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Not squared, but cubed. All right, so in this case, all we need is the radius. So we're going to multiply 4/3 times pi times our radius cubed. Now, on your calculator, you have this button right here, the division button, and if you hit Control and then the division button, it will open up a blank fraction on your calculator. And so then you can go ahead and you can enter 4/3, and then you can multiply that times pi, and then you can multiply that by the radius cubed. Now, to cube something, we have this button right here that looks kind of like an upside down V. That, when we hit that, it kind of opens up an exponent, a blank exponent, and then we can type in our cubed. So 4/3 pi times our radius cubed, hit enter, and we get 523.599. So if we go back to our paper, our volume is 523.599. Again, it says round to the nearest tenth, so we look at that digit. The next number is bigger than 9, so we're going to round up to 523.6 inches cubed. Okay, so at this point, between the two videos, you should be able to find the volume of any three-dimensional figure that we've looked at over the past couple days. So prisms, pyramids, cones, cylinders, and spheres.